My name is Kinsey Pody, and you're watching Back to the Basics. Today's session is on the God kind of love, so let's dive right in. Many people understand God's great love for them. I mean, think about it. God sent His only begotten Son into the world just for the chance that you'd accept Him and be able to live with Him eternally. That's some great love. But what sometimes people fail to realize is how they are supposed to act towards other people because of that love. I want to take you to 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. But before we go there, let's go to Romans 13, verse 8. And it says this: "Owe no one anything except to love each other. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. For the commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not commit murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are summed up in this word: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to a neighbor, therefore love is the fulfillment of the law." What that means is that before Jesus came to the earth, there were so many laws that people had to keep, really in order to be right with God and receive the blessing. But when Jesus came, part of His great love was that He abolished those old laws and only gave us one new law, and it's the law of love. It is to love your neighbor as yourself. And we find that love in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 8. It says this: "Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It doesn't rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails." So not only is that the way that God has loved you, it's the way that God expects you to love others. In fact, it's so important to God that it says here in verse 1, "If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but I have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, but I have not love, I am nothing. If I have all faith as to remove mountains, but I don't have love," it says you're nothing. "If you give your body away to be burned, but have not love," it says, "I gain nothing." So really, it's so important to the Lord that we walk in love with other people, that you can be a great faith person, you can have prophetic powers and understand mysteries and do great things for the Lord, but if you don't have love, according to the word, it says it doesn't mean anything. And at the end of the chapter, in verse 13, it says, "So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love." Love is so important. It's actually greater than your faith, and your faith will work by your love. I can prove that to you in Mark 11, verse 22 through 25. We probably all know verse 22. It says this: "And Jesus answered them, 'Have faith in God. Truly I say unto you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe you have received it and it will be yours.'" That's amazing, but we often stop there. But let's keep going. "And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone." Why? "So that your Father who is in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses." So why would forgiveness be right there under faith? Because your faith works through love, and forgiveness is part of love. You know, you can only be as forgiven as you choose to forgive. So if you want the Father to forgive you when you mess up, you must also forgive others when they mess up. I like the Amplified version. It says, "If you have anything against anyone, let it drop, leave it, and let it go." So let it drop, leave it, and let it go. And why should we do that? So that God will forgive us. This reminds me of the parable in Matthew 18 of the unforgiving servant. I'll paraphrase for you. There was one servant, and he went to his master. He owed him like $1 million. And he said, "Master, I cannot pay you. Please have mercy on me, please." And he said, "Okay, I'll have mercy on you." So this man was happy, as you would be. He went probably rejoicing all the way home. And what killed his joy was seeing one man who owed him $100. Now you would think that if you just got forgiven $1 million debt, you would not care about $100. But not this man. He grabbed that man by the shirt and he shook him and he said, He said, you pay me what you owe me right now. And this man who owed him $100 did the same thing that he did to the man he owed $1 million to a few minutes ago. He said, Master, I cannot pay you. Please have mercy on me. And he did not show him mercy. He threw him into jail until he could pay his $100 debt. Well, the man who was owed $1 million found out about it. He was not very happy. He brought back the man who owed him the $1 million and said, because you didn't choose to show mercy to someone who owed you, I now unforgive that debt, and you are now not forgiven of that debt. You must pay me what you owe me. And he called him a wicked servant. And that's exactly what you are if you do not choose to forgive when God has forgiven you so much. To the Lord, that is wickedness, that is ugly, and he does not like it. So if you want to be forgiven, you must learn how to forgive when you feel hurt. You know, forgiveness is not a feeling. Forgiveness is not a feeling. Forgiveness is a choice. You may say, well, they really hurt me or they really did me wrong. Well, that really is a choice that you have to make. What is more important to you? You being right with God, or you holding on to the grudge that you feel like you're supposed to hold on to because of the enormity of their offense towards you? You have to realize that what is the greater thing here? Would I rather be right with God and have my faith work and be walking in love and receive the blessing? Or would I like to hold on to this minor thing that really, in regards to eternity, doesn't matter? Now, I'm not saying there's not real offenses. There are. But you must choose to overcome that offense no matter the type of offense that it is. And if you do, your faith will work because your faith works by love. And if you want to be forgiven, you must learn how to forgive. I want to read you one version of the love chapter. It's the TLB version, and it says, love does not demand its own way. It is not irritable or touchy. It does not hold grudges. And in fact, it will hardly even notice when others do it wrong. It is never glad about injustice, but rejoices when truth wins out. If you love someone, you will be loyal to him no matter what the cost. You will always believe in him, always expect the best of him, and always stand your ground in defending him. Now, a good practice for this is to put yourself in the love chapter. The love chapter is 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. You put yourself in it and you say this: love is patient and kind, therefore I am patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast, therefore I do not envy or boast. Love is not arrogant or rude, therefore I am not arrogant or rude. And so on. You take yourself and put it in the word, and you apply the word to your life. And I guarantee you that if you'll make this a part of your daily routine with the Lord, if you'll wake up in the morning and before you even get out of bed, you get out the love chapter and you make this declaration of your life every day, not only will your love walk flourish, but you'll see your faith flourish as well, because your faith works by love. So I encourage you today to dive into the love chapter and get your mind renewed to how God thinks about you, but not only how he thinks about you, but how he expects you to think about others. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this session of Back to the Basics. Be sure you follow us on all social media platforms. And until next time, I love you, Jesus loves you, and Jesus is Lord.